Well, I just signed my new promotional contract deal with Top Rank, and they just signed a deal with ESPN for about 7 years and 54 shows a year. So I'm just excited to be back in and be on ESPN as well. I had 3 training camps for 3 fights that didn't go through, so I sparred a lot. I was out here in LA a lot, in Maywood, and just everywhere just sparring. So I've been active and I've been in the gym now. Maybe some promotional companies aren't as good promoting Latino fighters. And I feel Top Rank is I mean, they have just their record speaks for itself. They built fighters like Floyd, fighters like Oscar De La Hoya, Pacquiao. You know, just like the greatest fighters. They build the best stars. They always tell the fighters, "Oh, don't worry about the business. We're just worried about training." But sometimes you need to know the business too, because I mean, it plays a big part of boxing.
Yeah.
I had 108 amateur fights, and I won like about 5 to 6 national titles. But I fought everywhere. I fought a lot of tournaments, mostly all tournament fights. Maybe like 2 or 3 shows, and mostly all tournaments. I fought a lot of nationals, and I had a big amateur background. I fought Jose Ramirez in 2011. It was one of the eliminators for the 2012 Olympics. After I lost that fight, I decided. I mean, I knew my chance to go to the Olympics was very low. So I just after I graduated 2011 from high school, I just turned pro that same year. Well, it's important. I mean, I feel boxing should be on an even play field. So, I mean, everybody should be clean. Yeah, no, it's dangerous even for themselves. It's dangerous because I mean, sometimes the body has bad reaction, and it's dangerous for their opponents because I mean, they could get hurt, your head, your brain. You know, people die in the sport, and people are like injured for the rest of their life. They can't live a normal life. So, anybody with a belt, anybody with a belt, especially him right there, the Miguel Berchelt. He asked the WBC, I want to fight for this title, so that's what I want to fight.
I think I did hear somewhere where you said.
I called him out one time on his show.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
How did it
But
go?
I mean, it's fine. I got a lot of good feedback. I mean, but as of now, I'm considering it inactive because I've been out for over a year. So I know I need to get a few fights in, get back in the ring, get my ratings up, and then I could be like calling out fighters like that. But right now, as of now, I have a good record, but I need to get active and be in like contention for a title.
Right.
And I understand that. I can't just call out, I want to fight for a title right now. Can't. Yeah. When I got into boxing, Fernando Vargas was my favorite. Yeah, Fernando. That's what I did my haircut the same as him too.
Well, you gotta let this part go.
Yeah, not anymore. But I mean, but he was my favorite. He was my favorite fighter.
Really.
And I liked his character, like his personality. I liked his whole, kind of like the bad person in the boxing. But he was tough, and he was still proud of being Mexican, and he represented his ethnicity well, and was outspoken, and I liked his energy. Well, the fighters that I like to watch are usually power punchers, so I wouldn't want to fight them. But I like somebody like Joe Louis. It was somebody that I admire as a fighter, and it's crazy. Like the whole story he's been through, his whole life, his boxing career, and like his whole life was just inspiring. Being back, just getting win after win after win, just fighting back to back. Just my life right now, just focused on boxing. Nothing else. My life matters, just boxing right now. So I'm dedicating myself, my whole life to boxing, and you guys will see a great Neno come back, a better, more like improved Neno. So you guys will back after back, like just fighting. It does take a toll on you. I feel like this break kind of like rejuvenate my body, and I'm hungry though. I'm ready. I want to be back in the ring. Like if I could fight tomorrow, I would. If I could fight today, like I would.
Yeah. And
it's just the excitement of fighting. Because people say boxer puncher. I would consider myself a puncher boxer. Mm-hmm. So I'm a puncher before I box.
Yeah.
I like to impose my power before I box.
Are you born with the punch, or you work it?
No, just natural. Yeah. Natural. Just I feel I was just born with power, like the power. Some people are just gifted with speed. You know, you're just like a God gift, something you have.
Yeah.
The sacrifice is always worth it. Like all the sacrifice you do, waking up in the morning and run, and when it's cold and or when it's hot and you go to the gym. When you win, it's the most satisfying thing ever. It's like the work, the sacrifice you put, you do. It's always worth it. Like when you win, when you get your hand raised, it's like best friend. People admire,
Yeah.
like people admire, like oh, like dang, you're a boxer, like. People like that, and when I was little, I used to look up to fighters myself, and I still look up to fighters, So, it's always interesting to ask them questions and see how they think or how they view different things. Just, boxing is a humbling sport. Boxers, it don't matter how rich you are, what color you are, you get hit in the face, it's the same pain for everybody. So, I mean, it's a humbling sport for sure, and I feel boxers respect themselves within each other. It don't matter how much they talk trash about each other, but they respect themselves. Like knowing that anybody that fights, you respect them. Neno is just a name. My dad's name is Saul too, so Saul is my real name. So they don't want to call me Saulito because it sounds kind of weird.
Yeah.
So it's just Neno. My mom put me Neno as a baby, and been Neno ever since.
Because you went through, I don't know if they still remember you had like Kid Dynamite.
Kid Dynamite,
like
yeah, it was a top rank. Brad Goodman and Ricardo. They gave me the nickname after my third fight. Leading up to my fourth fight, they had got all first round knockouts. So and my third one was a 19-second one, and then I fought in Texas, and they're like, dang, it's like Kid Dynamite because you have so much power. And then my fourth fight, I got another first round knockout, 19-second in Texas, and it was just Kid Dynamite ever since. And one of my favorite fighters is Mike Tyson, and his name when he was younger was, before it was Iron, it was Kid Dynamite. So I was like, man, Kid Dynamite, yeah, why not? Especially if somebody like the top ranked people gets me like Kid Dynamite.
That's awesome.
And it was Neno as well too, so I like two nicknames. It actually is. There's like the most competition, the most boxing gyms here. I have friends in Texas, and they say they have to travel to other cities to get sparring. Here boxing gyms, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere. There's a lot of competition. There's boxing. Every city has like radius, like I don't know, 5-10 minutes. You get to another boxing gym, and especially Southern California, there's a lot of Latinos, a lot of competition. It's big here. Boxing is like a religion here. Mm-hmm. They should spar to learn. They shouldn't always spar just to knock somebody out. But sometimes that's how it is. Sparring, when you spar, it's like a fight. My sparring matches are usually harder than my fights. Mm-hmm. But I feel just from speaking to other fighters, it's not good to get hit in the head so much because it's damage to the brain. Like I've spoken a lot to like fighters like Shannon Briggs and Chris Bird. They've suffered brain traumatic like injuries where they're like they forget stuff and they could be driving home and they don't remember how to get home. I mean, it's just from so much sparring and so much getting hit is not good. So I mean, practice defense. Sometimes fighters just want to attack. You have to practice defense a lot and try not to get hit. And sometimes, I mean, the bar headgear is good. It saves your head. I mean, saves your face from like getting injured so much. I mean, cuts, once you get a scar, like, it's easy to open. So, but I mean, just don't spar. So I wouldn't spar so much. Spar when you're going to fight. Just thank you for all support. You guys will see me like back and hungry and better than ever. And gracias a todos los latinos que me apoyan y a todo México, a todo Jalisco. Muchas gracias por todo el apoyo. Saludos a Mauricio. Muchas gracias por todo y vengo por el título de WC.